Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. To God be all the glory. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I woke up this morning and everything, and I said, you know what? Before I get myself out of here, let me talk about this one. I have said this a long time ago when R. Kelly did the remix. But before I get into that, oh, God forgive me. Let me go into my Father's prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou you have been the kingdom, the power, and also all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. I almost forgot to do that one. Lord, I don't want to do that because I got to get out of here, and I don't like to leave my home without praying. Oh my God. Well, anyway, I had said it a long time ago that R. Kelly's remix on Chris Brown's song, Residuals, and also some other, like Residuals. I think it was only just Residuals, right? Well, anyway, now it's this song Depends that everybody is getting all crazy about hearing R. Kelly on this song. And they trying to say that Chris Brown now have some controversy, like, because the thing is that this is R. Kelly's pen game. R. Kelly do not do any remix on a song unless it was him who was the author of the song. And he just come in to author, to put his signature there. Okay? R. Kelly does not do a remix on a song unless he actually wrote the song. It might be some of Chris Brown's stuff in there too, but he put his certain touch to the song. I just want people to know that he letting you know I'm alive, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, I'm still above and not beneath. I know right now I'm in a bad situation. I know some things and everything, but I got a lot of stuff going on. But the one thing I ain't doing is that my music is here with me and it's keeping me strong. That's my love, that's my life, that's my everything, that's my babies. R. Kelly will tell you that he loves his music. And that's why he can't be around a lot of chaos and noise or whatever, because he is always thinking. And he writes things and he make it sound so perfect. It just comes out so perfect because he does it with spirit and in truth. He don't do it just, I mean, of course he needs to make the money to live. And to live, of course, he needs to pay his bills and he needs to take care of his family or whatever. But his music ain't always just about the money. It's something more to him. That's why it goes so well for him. He enjoys doing it. He do it. He do it with grace and with love and with whatever way he might be feeling at that moment. But he does it, and he sure enough do it well. And that's what makes him so great in his craft. In his craft. And the gift that he has from God, that he actually honors God in his work. Even when he's not at his best, he still honors God. He can make the ratchetest song and it still sound good. Okay? That's the gift of music that this man has. The love for the love of music this year has. And it's sad that he's still there, and we have so much going on in our corruption of the justice system, and it's just delay does not mean denied, and these corrupt rude judges, these protest judges, these feminist judges. And you know what, I think a lot of those women, because if you notice, you see all those protesters going on out there, guess who's leading the protest? Women. These are women with all that masculine energy and yelling and screaming and acting crazy and doing the things that they doing out there, like this Renee so-called good going to put her life out there to die for some criminals who snuck into the United States and have raped, murdered, and harmed American citizens. These people are so crazy. So deranged. But this ain't about them. But I'm just saying, like, all of this stuff is going on, political stuff going on, the change of government, the turnover of our government, and everything else like that. So a lot of times when criminals are just stuck in the system like that and nobody's really fighting in their case right now, it's because it's just so much going on in the climate. And I truly believe God is really trying to keep R. Kelly safe. At least he's somewhere where he don't have to be called out and said he was a part of whatever's going on around. A lot of corruption is everywhere. Look at what they did at this Emmy Awards. They made it into a protest. They bring politics everywhere. Let me tell you, at one time it wasn't even about stuff like that. It was about the music. It was about you, your work, or what you did, and none of that other stuff. Because some of these people are speaking on stuff that they don't really know what's really going on. Like that comedian woman, stick to your comedy and stay out of politics on your platform. Just stick to the politics. I mean, stick to your comedian work. Be a comedian. That's what you are. Like Whoopi Goldberg. There's just certain people just not made to speak on anything when it comes to political issues. They just don't. These people are in a totally different place in society. They live in the entertainment world. In the entertainment world, you can't take these people serious. You really just can't take these people serious. This woman, Renee Good, was an extremist activist. Okay, that's all I can say. I could call her extremist activist because right before she died, while she was beeping and doing her horn, she was doing her little jig, jig, jig dance and thought her white privilege was going to keep her safe. But she FAFO. And now she's not here anymore. Now her 6-year-old has got to be raised by the grandparents somewhere. Thank God they with the grandparents. At least whatever the child is, who the child is with in the family, as if it's with the grandparents. I'd rather it with the grandparents than that crazy girlfriend she had that told her to drive, baby, drive with a bullet, 3 bullets right in her. You know what I'm saying? And they even put a dog in a dangerous situation because she had a dog in the back of the car. I don't know what kind of dog it was. It was a big dog. It was sort of look like maybe it could have been a pit bull or a mastiff or whatever. But still in all, if the dog was harmed, they would have already said so. They would have forgot about her and made it all about the dog. They probably would have. But the dog, if anybody was more innocent in that environment, was the dog. Poor doggy. I hope the doggy's okay though. That cute doggy was sitting back there, didn't know what was going on. They had that dog and all that nonsense. She should be in jail for doing that. We should call Peter. Call Peter. PETA. Those are the people that come after you when you put animals in danger and you endangering, you mistreating, neglecting, and abusing animals. They should be in jail. Her girlfriend should be in jail just for that. For putting that dog in that bad situation. Now I could call Peter. They need to do an investigation on them how they've been abusing that dog. They've been abusing that dog. Anyway, back to cows. But anyway, y'all, I just want y'all to know that I love this song. I heard it. I know I'm coming kind of late with it because I got caught up in all my political stuff. But I didn't forget about Kels. He was still in my heart. So let's play the song. This bitch for real. He likes to breathe, he likes my man for real. They let me out this bitch with you for real. Put my things first, baby girls is secondary. This stuff is so much, I put them on my commissary. I miss your hair, I miss the good for real. I ain't the last time I said a kid for real. Girl, I'm gonna do for real. When I get home, tell you what I said for real. Can't wait to get back in the club, for real. Smoking the smoke, it was feeling my cup, for real. Can't wait to say we made it out, for real. I'm trying to make us great again, for real. So club up like we outside, for real. I'm in the cell like no more
my doors for real.
Okay, y'all. I love that. I love that. When I heard that, I'm kind of, like I said, y'all, I haven't been paying too much attention to things, but this came across me. So I had to talk about it. For Curl's his birthday. You notice that every time Curl's birthday come every year, you notice that they put out this fake gossip column and these fake propaganda news articles that they be circulating. But it's up to his real fans. We know what's up. We ain't gonna sit up there and listen to that trash. Okay? They always like to put out something about R. Kelly that doesn't sound very nice. And they do it all the time. Ever since he's been incarcerated, they do it every year since his birthday. We be celebrating his fans. We be doing our graphics and celebrating him, his music and celebrating him and, sending our prayers out to him and everything. And here comes the devil. Okay? Here come these evil, twisted minded folks to try to put a damper on it. They just try to destroy it. But I saw it on Facebook, but I didn't go read the article about his daughter healing and all. I said, get that stuff. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. Okay? It's getting old. It's getting worn out. It's getting tiring. With all the corruption going on right now that we see going on in our American government, in the government right now. Who cares at this point when they got these people protecting illegal criminals and illegals, period, but they not here fighting for this man, for justice. That make it make sense. People that have contribute to the culture here and to the American wealth here. Okay, what make us great? Our great entertainers who have done nothing but great work, bodies of work throughout history that was made here in the USA. But you fighting for the damn illegals that hate our guts and want to come here and destroy all of us. These people failed in their own goddamn country. What you mean they come in here and they care about us? They can't even stand up to their own government, but they gonna come here and try to tell us our constitution should be. I wish so and so will. That's why I go as hard as the pain as I do and I don't care what people say. Oh, you like the right racist, blah, 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 blah. Please, give me a break. It's not about being black to me right now. It's not about being white to me right now. It's about being right. 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 And being fair. Okay? If I see black people fouled out, some black people should take accountability. Okay, I'm tired of them always complaining and always crying. Then pack your shit up and go to Africa. That's the way I feel. The white man, the white man, the white man. They always want to blame the white man for every goddamn thing. Blame your damn self. This wouldn't even be a problem to you if you were really out there trying to do something for yourself. If you were really out there trying to do something, you won't be sitting around complaining all day. You be doing it. You be moving. You be thriving. You got that shit on your mind all day long, and you putting that shit out there in the universe. It's only just hurting you. Ain't nobody doing nothing to you if you out there trying to thrive and get ahead and do things that you good at to do. While you sitting around hating on somebody else for their accomplishments in life, you should be making those moves while you're here. Don't stay in that place. Yes, some things upset me that I see injustice done to my people. But before I really actually go in and really fight and put my life on the line, I got to see the truth. R. Kelly is somebody that I know I will fight for because I did it and I'm still doing it. I'm just not doing it as much as when it first happened, but I'm doing it because this man is innocent, because those parents should be held accountable. And so should the young people that broke the laws, that snuck themselves into his place. And at some point, you got to let them know you're doing something wrong and there's consequences. Or it's going to continue to keep going on to the point where it gets out of control. And that's what happened. You catch it from the beginning and you deal with it right then and there, so it would never have gotten this far. And that's exactly what's happening now in our government in the United States of America. And it's not like this is not new to America. People have always tried to do things to overthrow our system, and they failed. There's stuff going on that we don't even know about. That's why he's coming for these people. You don't know what they have about these foreign countries that they go to that hate Americans, that watching over this nation and everything. The what you call this wasn't watching over us. Listen to the news station. Listen to the liberal news reporters. Look at how they liberated, how they did it. They used it even to even lynch R. Kelly. Look how they use it against the innocence of our American people. The innocence, but they'll defend a foreigner, but they won't defend an American citizen. Look at the veterans. They came back. A lot of the veterans that came back that were, messed up from being in wars and everything else like that and neglected. But they care about these damn third world countries that just want to come over here and destroy us. These people come in and they just keep multiplying. And they just, the way they want to do it is they want to destroy us from within. The more they people come in, the more they going to get to be able to get into our government, claim themselves as citizens and get into our, like what's happening now with Ilhan Omar. She shouldn't have never been sitting in that seat in Congress. I'm sorry. She just never should have been there. And I'm going to start talking about Donald, whatever his name is. Donald, whatever. Oh God, I can't even say his name, his last. Byron. Byron Donalds. He's another one sitting over there on the conservative side. And he's just the first generation of immigrants from the Caribbeans. His parents, they don't share our experience as Americans in this American history. They don't share our experience. So they can't really sit there and be the face for us or the voice for us as for Black America. To speak on anything to benefit and to help Black American people. How you sitting in conservative, talking about conservative values when you came from a Jamaican and Trinidadian mixed culture, not even married to a Black woman. You see, this is the kind of Black people that's been sitting in Congress, sitting around trying to, speak for us and whatever it is. They just not qualified. And this is why we've been suffering the way we have been suffering in this country. So I'm glad the elephant is in the room, is running the house now. Because the elephant, do your American history about the elephant and the donkey, how they move. The donkey has retired because they have to me, they're going to have to revamp that whole Democrat Party because of the simple fact that it turned so socialist. They went so to the point where they almost communists. Okay, they are almost becoming communists, that they kind to overthrow the American system for people to have their freedom of speech, and it's a whole lot of other things that they trying to change the system here in America. And that's why I stand behind we, the American people, we stand behind what President Trump is doing. We, the American people. I don't know how many people going to get that, because you could talk to a lefty or a freaking liberal until you freaking exhaust yourself. They don't listen because they stubborn like that. That's why they the donkey. They stubborn, and they just a fool. They an ass. That's why they call them the ass. You got to call him the ass. The donkey, he chased his own fucking tail. Okay? So they at one time, this was what the Democrat Party was basically the party that was supposed to be for the working class families and those who are the ones who are disadvantaged. The Democrat was supposed to make sure they check this and check the borders, making sure our borders and everything are in right standard. and they also the Democrat Party. They have the population because of the fact that most people in America, not everybody's rich. Most people in America are working people. And at one time, it was bad, but it wasn't never this bad when it came to our immigration policies. It was never this bad. This is the worst it's ever been in history with mass migration. With mass migration. And I was listening to the Angry Man yesterday. He made a lot of sense about a lot of things. And I don't really go to his channel much because of, I'm just funny. I only go to listen to certain channels because they do have some good talking points and they do know how to bring some good insight. And then there's some panels that I just prefer at some conversations. I know what they're going to say and it's going to offend me, so I just stay away. But his yesterday, it just came across me. I don't usually get anything from him, but it just came through as I was, going through the feed or whatever like that, scrolling through. And then this video hit me when he started talking about some history, about our American history and about how we got to hold on to our American values, how we just can't surrender our, whatever to these people. Don't let them scream, let them yell all the freak they want to. Let them try to say ICE out of our cities. They don't want ICE in there. That's the federal government. They don't want ICE in their city because they don't want nobody to come and find all that fraud that's connected there and how it's channeling through to places and how they moving that money around and what they doing. That's what they trying to protect. They trying to take use this protest. The protest for these people that are being in these protests and everything are there to bring distraction, to take you away from what's really going on and trying to put it on the Trump administration. These people, most of these people out there, they don't only out there, they don't care about that woman being shot. They don't care. They know the chances are you F around, you find out. They know that. And they look for that. And they look for somebody to actually really, truly, seriously get injured so they could use that as their way of trying to get something from the public to make them look like they the victim. That's their socialist way of thinking. And they look for this administration to lay out some bodies and say, oh, it was police brutality. Trump used this power to harm innocent people. They can't, because look, they already got slogans out there saying, oh, they came with guns and all we had was whistles. They had vehicles blocking traffic. They was jumping on people's cars. They were harassing these agents throughout the day. And I'm just praying and hoping that whatever evidence they had, they don't have to show the public everything. Let these fools go to the courthouse and fight. Let them take it to the Department of Justice and see how that's going to end up. The people who are watching, everybody see the truth. Your mayor and the governor and the mayor, they refuse to work with ICE. And every time these criminals were supposedly been locked up, they let them back out. Even the judges were letting them back out. And the ICE people got to go in the street to get them. You putting people lives in danger. And people are not stupid. American people are not as stupid anymore. We are living in 2026. We have so many ways of seeing things for ourselves by going to independent journalists like Nick Shirley did, and other platforms that go and get the inside scoop to bring us the truth, to bring us the stories that risk putting their bodies out there and all of that dangerous stuff just to go get the truth for the American people, because the mainstream media like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, all of them, they in on it too because they don't like Trump. They so freaking crazy and socialist with liberal ways mindset that they will go out there and just with their TDS will do the most stupidest things and say the most stupidest things. So you got to be very careful with them. So the best channels you can go to if you want to follow what's going on, you can even go on X if you want to for, Donald Trump follow up on what's going on in our government. That's the best thing you can do. Don't listen to MSNBC and ABC and CBS and all these so-called mainstream media networks or whatever. No, they are way too crazy for me to hide this stuff from the people, that you will actually sit there and try to hide, just like they did R. Kelly. CBS. They got him out there on the platform with them two girls to set it up to actually ambush him. And every dog have they day. God is not going to allow these people to be in office again for a very long time. As long as God Christian soldiers are out here, as long as we out here, even if we small in numbers, that's okay, because God said many are called but very few are chosen, and there's very few chosen, and those few chosen is going to be the ones to win the battle. There's so many battles. You think David always had a large army of fighters when he had to go to battle? Remember, he put what's his name in the front line of his hottest battle so he can die. So David was a man of war. Whenever he felt threatened, whenever he felt like somebody was disrespecting him, oh, David was ready to strap up. David was ready to strap up. There was many times that David could even took Saul. But the thing is, the reason he didn't do it is because of the fact that Saul was an anointed king. And God said, do not touch my anointed. Meaning bring no bloodshed to him. Because usually people, sometimes you don't want to, that's the way I like how the elephants move. How the elephants move. Because one thing, they gentle giants. Okay? They gentle giants. But one thing about the elephant brain, the way it's stable, structured, and they won't mess with you unless they feel some kind of way that there's a threat. Just by how President Trump was able to get in Venezuela and grab that Mondora, which a lot of people didn't know, because I listened to the news report about it, and they said it was an operation we was working on and we kept it quiet. That's the way those elephants move. They not too much of the rah people. They don't get too loud. They don't get too loud but when they get loud, oh, the you're gonna feel things shake. When they get loud. But they're not loud like the Democrats are loud. When they come for you, they gonna come for you when you ain't gonna even realize they came for you. That's why this administration is the best administration right now for this type of climate. And they mean business. They're not going to get out here and waste all their energy yelling and getting emotional like the damn Democrats trying to get to your emotions. Okay? They're not going to do that. That's why they call them, oh, those white boy racists, those this, that, the other. Yeah, sometimes you got to keep it that way. That's why, so you can really know how your people are moving. You got to keep it that way. So, some kind of way. You got to keep it that way. Okay? But the thing is that they don't play. Okay? They don't play. And that's why everybody's so mad with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump fit that kind of mentality. He's that kind of chief and commander. Like, I'm not the emotional man. He's a masculine. He got a lot of masculine energy. And most of the men that's standing up there with him got a lot of masculine energy too, because and the females that he picked, they are beautiful, but they're strategic. They like, to me, the Charlie Angels. Don't get fooled about what you see Christy known, because she's a woman and she looks like she's very easy. She's not no Kamala. She's a trained. She wouldn't be in that. Trust and believe. Christy Nome will not be leading in that with DHS if if she was a bimbo. Okay. The Caroline Leavitt, however you pronounce her name, the other pretty secretary, president's secretary. who's, she's sharp and she's very good. And when she speaks with a lot of confidence. And, she knows how to answer questions. She knows how to give you full details. She's very articulate. So don't be fooled just because they women, because Frey, he's sitting up there like a big punk talking all this nonsense about Gnome. Okay? He's sitting up there, that Jacob Frey dude, who sit up there for the Somalian people, and he's Jewish. That's the whole thing. He is a Jewish man defending some Muslim Somalian community. That's a big trade right there. With all, Muslims and Jews don't get down like that unless it's some kind of corruption going on. Anytime you see that, he's involved in some corruptions, because no Jew would sit there and go that hard and defend a damn Muslim Somalian. Come the fuck on, okay? That's how he is. So suspect, 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 okay? I dare him. He get up there talking that shit to Christy Nome. She probably could take his ass herself. His little punk ass. Sitting up there crying like a little bitch. He was because they scared. You see, this is when the elephant is in the room. Okay? The elephant is in the room and they trying to grab onto it. Just because they large in numbers, don't mean that the Republicans are going to lose in the fight. Everybody's talking about vote for the midterms, vote for after all of this shit. You actually think somebody gonna actually vote for a fucking Democrat to be in the office? Are you serious? To win the House again? Oh, they done. The American people are not stupid. The American people, I'm not even stressing about what's going to happen in the midterms, because I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen. They've been so messy. And when you panic, that's when you mess up. Don't panic. Just watch every disgusting move that these Democrats are making. And people are even jumping ship. Okay? People are panicking. People are turning. People are, even the other day, I know this is supposed to be about R. Kelly, y'all, but this is all I really had this morning about him, was to talk about his music. It depends, and his pen game and everything. And I did put the what you call it out, because I got so deep into this politics stuff, because it does kind of in a way involves R. Kelly in a way, because he's been there, and so much corruption behind this. It's been behind that administration, and R. Kelly work got all messed up in it. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the American people who's actually been a victim of this system of theirs with criminals. The illegals are getting out, and they have committed the most heinous crimes in the United States of America. And they being protected. And here's R. Kelly in jail, not being protected by the justice system. Make it make sense. People like this guy here, these two. Hey, I wrote a whole thing. You could go read it. I don't want to get all into them, but I wanted to get into this R. Kelly thing. Right here it says, I've had this feeling for a while now that a lot of the music Chris Brown is putting out carries the influence of R. Kelly's pen. Anyone who understands songwriting and industry patterns knows that R. Kelly does not jump on remixes unless the original song already bears his writing style or his influence. When he shows up, he's signaling authorship or creative ownership, quietly but deliberately. Now, with Teddy Riley announcing on WBLS that new R. Kelly music is coming, it adds more context. Teddy Riley and R. Kelly have always collaborated closely, especially at the instrumental and engineering level. Their music chemistry goes back decades. That sound doesn't disappear, it evolves and gets passed through generations of artists. What many people don't know is that Guy originally wanted R. Kelly as their lead singer. So that's when they switched it up, and they, instead of the group guy, they wanted R. Kelly to be with the group guy, but they switched it up, and instead they gave it to Aaron Hall. So that's why it's always been that conflict about, R. Kelly's style with Aaron Hall's style back in the 90s now. And the way their music was coming in, because, that New Jack Swing sound, that's what R. Kelly worked with Teddy Riley on, that New Jack Swing. If you go back and you go back through his music when he was with the group Public Announcement, they sound a lot like God in some kind of way. I think, and I'm not sure, but I don't want to misrepresent anything. But during that time in the 90s, a lot of groups was performing, and R. Kelly did talk about it in one of his things. He said in that time when they wanted to really bring you out, they put you with a group. That's how he was set up with the MGM. First, he started with Men Gifted with Music, and then he went into the other one, the group called Public Announcement. Then from Public Announcement, you know, before Public Announcement, I'm sorry, they wanted him with Teddy Riley. They wanted him on the group guide and Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall. So because of that, R. Kelly was like, nah, he wanted to just go solo, whatever. And that's how he was able to perform. He actually grew out of the group Public Announcement. They worked a little bit for a while, and then he just solely just they just faded in the background, and R. Kelly just came to the front line because that's what happened in those days. So he talks about himself. R. Kelly could tell you better than I can. I said, what many people don't know is that God originally wanted R. Kelly as their lead singer. That alone tells you how highly his vocal and writing abilities were regarded. Kells chose to go solo instead, and history speaks for itself. So when you hear certain records today and feel that familiar structure, melody, and emotional pull, that unmistakable pen, you're not crazy. Great writers leave fingerprints even when they're not standing in the spotlight. And that's what he is. He's a good storyteller. And R. Kelly can write a song. And let me tell you, Teddy Riley, he's bad. He's an engineer in music. And Teddy Riley himself was in some mess with some young girls and his daughter. He beat up his daughter. And it was one time his daughter was being disrespectful because Teddy Riley was seeing some young girl that was quite half his age at the time. And I remember when it happened, this happened back in 2012 or something like that. Teddy Riley was seeing some young girl, and his daughters and them didn't approve of it, so they jumped their father, and he beat the shit out of them with a guitar. He jacked them up, and he was arrested for abuse. But his daughters jumped him. They tried to jump him, but some people said that he was trying to beat the girl. They were trying to beat the girl up, but Teddy Riley, him and R. Kelly got a lot in common. So anyway, y'all, and I'm glad he got somebody that could really relate to his issues. Like, yeah, man, we know what, somebody that could really relate, and just. I never heard Teddy Riley get out there and say anything negative about R. Kelly or none of the mess. But that Teddy Riley, he's bad. He's a bad Teddy Riley. He bad. He's a good engineer. I like Teddy Riley. Anyway, y'all, that was what I had for you today, this morning. Anyway, but hopefully you all will come back later on. If I come with anything else on R. Kelly, I will definitely keep you informed. But for those of you who just came to my channel, you can subscribe, hit that like button. And I really appreciate if people would start hitting I noticed that my like button ain't getting too many likes because it's probably not getting a lot of views because my videos are not hitting the algorithm. So by you hitting the like button will help me so much in 2026. I can't keep my numbers low like this. I would like my platform to grow. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so when I come on, you get the notification. And I would like for you to hang out here with me because it's a whole lot of stuff we could talk about. Okay? Whole lot of stuff. That's all I do is Casey McDaniel speaks. Okay? I just give my POV, my point of view on topics that are trending. Excuse me, on trending topics, and especially on our political climate right now. I want to keep people informed because a lot of people don't feel it's important to stay inclined with what's going on in the country that they live in and what's going on in our government or whatever. But it's important that you do know what's going on and you learn as much as you can while you're here to keep you safe, and also so you will know the kind of people you putting in power in your city or county or wherever you live in. Know what they're doing for you. Don't just sit there and just getting paid off my tax paying money and you doing nothing for me, but you're doing it all for foreigners. Always remember that. That's why I had to switch it up a little bit here on my platform. I talk about R. Kelly. Yes, he is a part of this conversation because of the simple fact that he's one of the people that became a victim of the justice system. He became a victim of our American justice system because what they did to him was injustice. And they let the criminals walk free and they lock up the innocent man. And that's what's been going on in the climate of the government we were under before, a cruel, oppressive government. And they don't care nothing about those foreigners because these are people that just greedy for power and money. Greedy for power and money. They all about profits and not about how you, as an American citizen, are you safe? Are you protected? Are you able to get any of your rights being violated? That somebody else is getting a job because DEI is in the way for diversity, equity, and inclusive, affirmative action, any of those things. And I truly believe what President Trump said. People who have merit for the position should be able to hold that job without having to give it up because of some quota of some DEI or affirmative action because they black, they get the job. They got to really have the love and the passion in their heart and worked this hard and took a lot of money, time, and they bust their butt to go to school classes to get whatever certification they needed to get. These people worked hard and they had the passion to do it because this is what they wanted to do. Not somebody that just want to come there and just sit there and just be a body and a face and get a paycheck and don't even know how to string two sentences together and can't even speak right. They not articulate. They don't know the English language. They just get out there and they just say, oh, like the AOC girl. That girl should not be there in Congress. I'm sorry. She does not know how to string a sentence together where you can really, truly, without that heavy Puerto Rican accent that she holds. These people have no interest in American values whatsoever. They want to sit there and just eat up the American people money and drain our resources. And then on top of this, they will have us looking like a third world country. They keep trying to say people that come from a third world country that failed government over there, and this is all they know. And when they bring them here, those elements are going to come with them. Those elements are going to come with them. They want to stand up to some injustice or some oppression or whatever it is. They need to go back to their country and stand up to their government over there and leave the United States alone. Okay? Get out of our government and go back to your country and try to fix your constitution over there. That's what Ilhan Omar standing out there. But before I go, let me show y'all what she did. Just to let you know that she had a wake up call. Okay? Because Ilhan Omar had the audacity. Ilhan Omar is out on a truck protesting in front of the ICE facility with a whole bunch of rowdy, socialist, crazy lunatics, protesters or whatever like that. They yelling into the bullhorn and they saying things about the government here. They saying things about ICE and then had the nerve to say Tim Walz. They started chanting that Tim Walz need to be persecuted. And her face just like, what? Had her out there. I'm gonna show y'all this. You can't make this up, y'all. You just all right. Let's see this. Let's see this. I wish I could. I wish when you see this, you can't help but laugh. The woman snatched that mic.
As they lose their minds trying to intimidate us. I see every single day neighbors twirling these violent people who are trying to intimidate us under the guise of law enforcement and saying no matter what you do to me, you can arrest me or not. I am
You
going
American
to.
Indian. You was born here. You don't have
This
no.
is an all hands on deck process, and in Minnesota,
No, I'm trying to see the.
we are going to show all of them the door out.
How's she going to come and overthrow our
And we
government?
are going to
Make
make
it make
sure,
sense.
we are going to make sure that these people pay for
Nah,
what
I seen the
we
video where the
have
girl
been.
grabbed the
Do not.
microphone and
We
she just went in. I guess they not going to show that, huh? She was out there protesting and the girl took the microphone. Look at her. What kind of shit is this? Make this shit make sense. How the hell you ain't even from this damn country? This is where it was.
Everyone follow Minnesota Immigrant Movement. We do not take credit for this speech. Minnesota Immigrant Movement wrote this speech.
Is it this one? It was the girl with the red hat. She snatched the microphone. She got up there and talked about Kim Wolf, everyone is prosecuted.
She is someone that when I was in high school, I campaigned and went door to door for her because I believed in her message, and she has done nothing but deliver on those promises. I am very, very proud to be able to introduce the wonderful, the amazing Ilhan Omar.
Nah, we don't want to hear Ilhan. We want to hear the
Single day. They might have the House majority. I love this community. This community raised me as an immigrant.
These people are just using
This
you,
community
girl.
also sent me
They're
to
just
Washington.
using. Those people are crazy. Look at her. She went to hang out with the crazies. Those people are crazy. Here it is.
Says they want accountability in Minnesota, so
turned
they've
it to
taken
war.
a series of actions that they say will continue until there's proof that the alleged fraud has stopped.
This was definitely the most egregious thing I have seen, maybe in my whole time working at OLA.
And when they assist ICE, so to
There
take
she
the
goes.
pride, we say, you are not doing enough.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And
No.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Ilhan Omar, like, oh my gosh, yo, this she's even more unhinged than I am. I thought I was the most unhinged person in Minnesota. And y'all, I think that's why this is not gonna work. Because people like that, there are too many of them, but there are not enough of them for them to form any kind of majority. And average, regular, everyday people.
Let me tell you something. Political, crazy protest, and this stuff to America. The we kind of used to this, right? We know what the end gonna be, right? The end game gonna be because how many people have tried to overthrow this government from within and out? Now look through history, through the 1960s, how many groups were forming? You had the Black Panthers, you had in the civil rights movement, you had the Black Panthers, you had the Nation of Islam, you had all these different political so-called parties and groups and everything that were all fighting against the American system. And guess what? You know, these people, some of them became political prisoners, some of them didn't. Some of them just went to jail. They came out. Some of them, the leaders, they killed them. And then all of a sudden, that whole group, they just went their own separate ways or whatever. Some of them had to escape out of the country, like we just dealt with Ashada, and also with, what's her name again? Angela Davis. They had to become exiled due to the criminal charges that was against them here in the United States because of them being associated, even if they didn't kill anybody, just being associated with these socialist groups. Any group that you start to associate to rebel against the United States of America, you become a threat. And those are the consequences. That's with any nation. That's not just only something that happens here in the United States of America. You go to any country and try to overthrow their system, you are a threat. And sometimes they're not going to even allow you, at least what the American government do, they allow you to live. In some countries, they will take you out of here. They will bring you to the court of justice. But with, what's his name? Okay, Huey Newton and Stokey Carmichael and all of these people that were leading in this battle, some of them had to sell out some of them just so that they could get less sentencing and time. Just for immunity, some of them had to sell out Stokey Carmichael and Huey Newton and all these radical um, so-called political groups. So you got to be very careful what you attach yourself to. Okay, I'm just an American citizen, just here just trying to say what I want to say, giving my own point of view, and also, through sharing some of my own experiences. But for me to try to overthrow the American government, whatever I don't like, I change, like I said, at the ballot box. I won't be voting for you. That's my way of changing. I just have to, ride with it. Okay? But anyway, back to this crazy.
Who may have been hurt by the tragic death of Renee Good, who may feel there was excessive force, who may be against ICE, they're still not ready to go to the extent of a lot of these loonies out there.
In Powderhorn Park, that's where people first gathered to.
Some of these people are just out here just to be out here, but I just wanted to see. I got to move
like
on
2 years
because they're not talking about really
at
what I'm
OLA.
looking for.
And when they
I was
assess
looking.
ICE, so to Jacob Frey, we say, you are not doing enough.
And we're back,
That's the woman I'm talking about. She's talking about she want Tim Walls persecuted. And then Ilhan Omar's face was like, what? The woman grabbed the mic. They so crazy they don't know what they fighting for. They so crazy they just saying anything out of their mouth. She just, I swear to you not, you can't make this up. They so crazy, they just out there just to be out there just making noise, just crazy. They on drugs. Most of these people, they don't have no job. What are they doing? They living off the system. You coming to affect their welfare and whatever else. These people are from mental institutions. You can look at these people and can tell these people aren't well. And Ilhan Omar is trying to hide within the group. Ilhan Omar. These people let me tell you something. Ilhan Omar. This is America. They don't like you either, but they would use you just so that they could just just to get that kind of attention. These people are in some deep search for to belong to something, to feel like they doing something. That's why most of them are like lesbians, like the woman is the victim, and we got to protect the women, and by them doing it, some of them will even neglect their own damn children and go out here like Renee did, okay, and put herself involved in all of this stupid, crazy, socialist, protesting, crazy, psychotic. These people aren't well people. They not. These people are on heavy drugs. They on drugs. They probably on fentanyl. They probably on crack, cocaine. They probably coke heads. They probably meth heads. They everything. Most of the people that be out there yelling with all that adrenaline and all that stuff, they drug addicts. They losers. They're not smart people. They travel from city to city where the people will pay them. Yeah, let's get some bodies out. Get some people out there to be paid protesters for us. And they do it so they can get the money they need to get high. That's what they do. They nothing but breaking the law breakers themselves. A bunch of law breakers and criminals. That's all they are. Law breakers and criminals. These people are rebellious. And eventually they just gonna get quiet and die down, or either die, like Renee, either die. It's just gonna come. This is just right now, just them having their little fun and they going out there and they got they dates on January so and so and so. Remember they did all of these protesters they did throughout last year, ain't none been successful. Failed. No, nothing that they asked for has been given. And that's God's doing because they not good people. They will stay till they freaking catch a heart attack, a stroke on the street, or they die over an overdose of whatever they got they put in their body to get them pumped up and crazy like they are. But anyway, I got to get out of here, y'all. But we'll come back and talk later. Just hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell so when I come on, you get the notification. This is Casey McDaniel that speaks. You have a blessed and wonderful day.